On this episode of In the Fight, we follow the military as they help those hardest hit by Hurricane Sandy. We take a tour of one of Afghanistan's fastest growing cities. Special training helps keep Marines and sailors safe from hidden dangers. We go behind the scenes with an aircraft that has been in production for over 50 years. And a Marine takes care of Marines. Hurricane Sandy, the largest Atlantic hurricane on record, ravaged the Northeast this past October, causing billions of dollars in damage, destroying thousands of homes, leaving millions without electricity, and killing over 100 people. Near Coney Island, the National Guard was there to lend a hand, as Army Sergeant Elizabeth Gerhardt brings us this story.
In a beach town, usually bustling with tourists and locals, Coney Island, New York has been quiet since Hurricane Sandy. That's why Bravo Troop 2101 Cavalry, New York National Guard, out of Buffalo, New York, has been working in collaboration with EMS, FEMA, and the Department of Health to check on the residents of Coney Island. They have been assigned the daunting task to go door to door to check on the residents of this iconic city. So, building after building, hallway after hallway, knock after knock. These National Guard soldiers check on the residents.
So far, the people have they've welcomed us with open arms. They're happy we're here. They accept the food and water. Obviously, they really need it. Most of them. We give blankets, goodie bags, and things like that.
No matter what the challenge, these soldiers are up for the task.
It's been a great opportunity for us to come down and help out the people down here. I mean, there's a lot of people without heat, hot water, food. It really makes the soldiers feel good to get out there and be able to provide something for these people. It's not everything that they need, but we have the ability to help people within our state. That's what our job is as National Guard soldiers.
Reporting from Coney Island, New York, I'm Army Sergeant Elizabeth Gerhardt.
Hurricane Sandy displaced thousands of people, forcing many away from their homes and into shelters. Fortunately, these people were able to find some help and comfort from members of the New Jersey Air National Guard. Tech Sergeant Carl Clegg caught up with one of these airmen and brings us this story.
I remember seeing the footage of Katrina, and I remember thinking, like, I want to be that person. I want to be able to go and help these people. I wonder, how do you sign up for something like that? To be here now and doing it and helping everyone out, I'm like, this is exactly what I wanted to do.
How are you feeling today?
It's kind of sad. A lot of these people don't have family that are available to help them. So, especially Virginia, she can't see. We'll go and check up on her, make sure she's clean or she's gone to the bathroom, and I've been helping her with getting in contact with her granddaughter, Nicole. Sometimes a few little taskings with translation, so I've been doing that, translating for them any information they need.
How are you, Benito?
I try to help out a lot on the other side where they need a lot of medical needs.
Do you guys have any wheelchairs?
Just basic stuff, because they're a little bit short on medical staff. And just checking up on the people, making sure they're drinking water.
I'll let the nurses know.
A lot of people on walkers and wheelchairs, helping them get around. Well, a lot of people see the uniform and right away they run to us, you know, they see that we're getting stuff done. And I just try to make it smooth and try to stay on the same page as everybody.
Right now I'm gonna go pick up my friend Pat.
Pat came in with us yesterday, I think it was, or 2 nights ago, I lost track of days. I'm not exactly sure why she came from the hospital, but she's on an oxygenator, has a nebulizer, she has breathing problems, and I just got on her good side.
I'll be back.
So since then, I'll check up on her every once in a while. Just now, I just brought her out to get some light. I mean, she's a really nice lady. She's just been through a lot.
Jennifer is wonderful. She's a good girl. She really is. I ask her for something, she does her best to get it for me. And she does a lot for me.
I'm not exactly sure how long I'm gonna be here, but and I'm not just saying this, but I'm willing to stay for however long they need me, but I feel so much peace to be in this uniform.
New Jersey and New York took much of the brunt of Hurricane Sandy, leaving many of its residents in unlivable conditions. Senior Airman Renee Carberry was in the heart of Queens and files this report.
While the coastline still remains in disarray after Hurricane Sandy, military officials have mobilized personnel and equipment to try to restore residents to their homes, which is not an easy task.
The basements are full of water, anywhere from ankle to chest deep. What our pump guys are doing are removing the water so that they can repair the pipes and they can repair the electricity, but you can't do either of those until the water's gone.
These people are in chaos right now. Everything's underwater, and we're here doing what we need to do, and they just got a big relief out of it. Knowing that here in a few weeks, they can be in their homes, have electricity, no water to deal with.
These Marines just arrived on scene this morning, and most were surprised by what they saw.
Back home, I really thought everybody was overreacting, but as soon as I hit New York, it kind of set in. It's pretty bad up here.
And he's not the only one. Locals feel the same way.
Surreal, to be honest with you. I mean, second worst disaster after the towers. It was on the money when they said that. We were definitely not prepared, but we'll get by. We're a tough city.
Reporting for the Air Force Broadcasting Service, I'm Senior Airman Renee Carberry.
Hey, all this is Specialist Nidek here at Fall Blackman. I'd like to wish happy holidays to my family back home and to my kids, Wyatt Cash and Aiden Reese. Daddy loves you. I'll be home soon.
My name is Major Michael Griffin. I'm assigned to Joint Task Force Guantanamo. I'd like to give a shout out to all of my friends and family in Greenfield, Indiana.
Hi, I'm Lieutenant J.G. Carol Nakasa from Kandahar, Afghanistan. I just want to wish my mom and dad, Larry and Pilar, Benny, and our beautiful children, Lorenzo and Molina Nave, a Merry Christmas, Feliz Navidad, Maligayang Pasko, and Melikaliki Maka. I miss you and I love you guys.
Hi, my name is Corporal Margie Jones. I'm with the 539th Military Police Detachment serving in Bagram, Afghanistan. I'm here with my fiance, Sergeant Colin Dunleavy. Just like to make a shout out to my friends and family back in Cleveland, Ohio. Happy holidays and have a Merry Christmas.
Happy holidays.
Coming up, we take a tour of one of Afghanistan's fastest growing cities. And we go behind the scenes with an aircraft that has been in production for over 50 years. Check out dvidshub.net for the latest accurate and reliable information as In the Fight continues. Specific names of hurricanes are retired when what happens? The answer when we return.
With the new Military 24/7 app from Divots, you turn your favorite mobile device into a window to the front lines. Connect with your nation's finest men and women through our video and photography archives and stay up to date with news reported directly from service members. Quickly share information and breaking stories with friends via Facebook, Twitter, or email. News, photos, video. Your military 24/7.
Divots inaugurates a fast new service for troops overseas. Video greeting e-cards are sent like regular email. Each e-card contains your own personal written message. One e-card can be sent to as many recipients as you like. Quite a savings in cargo space when you realize that 150,000 letters that ordinarily fill 22 boxes will take up no box at all in digital form. On arrival, your e-card will express your holiday wishes to loved ones at home. Good news for servicemen and women overseas.
Specific names of hurricanes are retired when what happens? The answer is C, when the hurricane is particularly devastating. Kabul, Afghanistan's capital, is home to more than 5 million people and is one of the world's fastest growing cities. NATO Channel correspondent Jake Tutman and the current mayor of Kabul, Yunus Nawandish, recently took a tour of the city and brings us this story.
During the 1950s and 60s, it was among South Asia's most fashionable cities. With a cosmopolitan outlook, a rich culture, and a thriving infrastructure, it was modern and progressive and attracted tourists from far and wide. However, during the Civil War in the 90s, large parts were destroyed, and a city that had once had a colourful and hopeful future was reduced to rubble. Now, Kabul is a city in repair and regeneration, and one man, perhaps more than any other, is charged with bringing this once great city back to its former stature.
It's not so easy to build a destroyed city. The city was almost completely destroyed after the war in Afghanistan. After the Taliban regime, we had a big chance to improve the Kabul city, but there was not happening. Nothing, no roads, no construction works, no greenery, no parks, no canals, nothing. But since 2.5 years, we started big activities in the city.
One of those activities was to address the roads, which had fallen into disrepair and were causing chaotic traffic jams and congestion all over the city. But despite introducing traffic measures, asphalting 300 kilometers of road, and introducing LED and solar street lighting, congestion in Kabul remains a serious problem, with another 1,200 kilometers of road either under construction or in desperate need of repair. At 1,800 meters above sea level, Kabul is one of the world's most elevated capital cities. But while the mountains make for exquisite views, the altitude and rocky terrain make it hard for vegetation to flourish. Addressing the need for greenery and clean air is integral to the mayor's vision of a cleaner, greener future. But while some areas are reaping the benefit of newly planted trees, much of Kabul remains dusty and polluted, and it could take months or even years before the mayor's vision becomes a reality.
The Kabul is one of very historical and old cities around the world. You can see the wall on the mountain. This is about more than 2,000 years old.
Restoring Kabul isn't simply about function. With a history that stretches back over 3,000 years, it is important to Afghans that Kabul maintains its identity as a traditional Afghan city. And by restoring old buildings and building new ones that are in keeping with Kabul's cultural identity and historical heritage, the mayor hopes to build a city that residents can be proud of.
The future of Kabul will be green city, clean city, nice and developed city, and I want to see the Kabul, the city of flowers.
This is Jake Tutman reporting from Kabul for the NATO channel.
Improvised explosive devices, or IEDs, are the #1 killer of U.S. and coalition forces in Afghanistan. At Camp Leatherneck, Marines and sailors are taking an intense class in unexploded ordnance recognition, homemade explosives, threat detection, and ground sign awareness to better protect themselves. Marine Corporal Koshan Yi files this report.
So if this thing is laid in the deck and all I can see is the back end of it.
As they start their year-long deployment, Marines with Headquarters Company Regimental Combat Team 7 participate in counter-IED training aboard Camp Leatherneck, Afghanistan.
Counter-IED is basically a way to actually go out there and find these IEDs. That way we don't have to actually detonate them, or we can avoid them at all costs.
What do we have here?
We start off, we talk about some UXO, and we talk about mines. We find this stuff in the ground every day, so we want to give them an idea of what's out here in the ground and what to do when they come in contact with it. Then we talk about the 5 components of an IED. Very small distance from the other carbon rod. We talk about some HME, homemade explosive, the awareness. We talk about our crew systems, our counter, RCR, IED, electronic warfare systems. And finally, we talk about some ground signs. Now, that's the way we're finding most of the IEDs, the disturbances of the earth, things of that nature. That way they know what they're looking for when they're out on patrol or out on that convoy.
Search at position.
In the afternoon, we go over our metal detector awareness, gives them a brief understanding of what metal detectors we're using and how to actually turn them on and operate. Then we talk about the patrol lane, gives them an idea of what to actually look for and where to look for these IEDs. And then we talk about finally what to do if your vehicle gets hit by an IED. It's called a downed vehicle drill.
Our main concern right now is what?
I liked that it was really hands-on. They would teach it to us up front, and then we'd actually go out and get to use everything and do everything hands-on instead of us just learning it in the classroom.
By the weight of this rock, we're running into these IEDs day in and day out. Even when the war in Afghanistan's over, these IED threats are still going to remain in effect. So it's definitely important that everybody understands. It doesn't matter if they're 0311s or admin clerks. They need to understand what to do if and when they encounter an IED or an IED attack.
Since the late 50s, the C-130 Hercules has been the workhorse of the U.S. military and is the only military aircraft to remain in continuous production for 50 years. Air Force Staff Sergeant Neil Uranga takes us behind the scenes to see what it takes to keep the C-130 flying.
The C-130 Hercules has been a part of the Air Force inventory for over 50 years. And to keep these tactical airlifters flying in the skies above Afghanistan, the maintenance airmen say the C-130 requires one thing.
Hours and hours of maintenance. And it takes us probably 10 hours to get an aircraft truly ready to fly from the time it lands from its last flight to the time it's ready to take off again.
They're older airplanes, so there tends to be a lot of maintenance that goes on behind the scenes. A lot of hard work goes into these planes.
It takes approximately 80 airmen from various specialties working countless hours to ensure the Hercules is airworthy. And for some of these airmen, it's still a thrill to see the Herc go wheels up.
It's a chilling experience. You tend to get goosebumps every once in a while because you know that you're helping make that airplane fly.
For the 455th Air Expeditionary Wing Public Affairs, I'm Staff Sergeant Neil Uranga, Bagram Airfield, Afghanistan.
Hi, I'm Specialist Walker, and I'm currently stationed in Vicenza, Italy. I'd like to send a happy holidays back home to my mother. She's currently in Dover, Delaware. Merry Christmas, Mom.
First Lieutenant Trey Donnelly, SFAT Team 192, FOB Ghazni, Afghanistan. I just want to send a shout out to all my friends and family in Savannah, Georgia. And Courtney, I just want to say I love you and I'll be home soon.
Mi nombre es Sargento Carla Alvarado. Estoy en Afganistán sirviendo para First ID. Me gustaría mandar saludos, besos y abrazos a mis padres que están en Dallas, Texas.
Specialist Teresa Science here in beautiful Arifjan, Kuwait with the 316th ESC. I want to say hi to my mom, my sister, my brother, and all my nieces and nephews in Memphis, Tennessee. I miss you all, kiddos, and I hope to see you soon. Merry Christmas.
Coming up, we meet a Marine who takes care of Marines. And we'll showcase some of the best photos from our service members as In the Fight, presented by Divots, continues. In what year did Alabama become the first state to make Christmas an official holiday? The answer when we return.
I want to give a shout out to my family and friends.
I want to send a shout out to my husband,
to my parents, my family back home.
I'd like to give a shout out to my girlfriend.
To my family and friends in Lansing, Michigan.
To my family out in Tucson, Arizona.
To my beautiful wife and children in Des Moines, Iowa.
To everybody in Texas.
In York, Pennsylvania.
Colorado Springs, Colorado.
Chicago, Illinois.
Harrisonburg, Virginia.
Orlando, Florida. Oceanside, California.
And Fort Leonard Wood, Missouri.
I love you guys. I miss you. And I hope I'll see you soon.
From combat-related stress to the day-to-day stressors of life.
This package is going to be completed.
This is the fourth time this week.
Stress can affect every Marine and Marine family. The De-Stress Line provides anonymous counseling for Marines and Marine families when it's needed most. If you're feeling the effects of stress, call today and let us help you win your personal battles.
Training is about more than muscle. It's about inner strength. So I push myself. That's why I serve in the United States Coast Guard. I train with the best, a team that shares my drive and commitment. We collect intelligence, guard our shores against drug smugglers, and keep our waterways safe, because our nation expects more.
If you expect more, maybe you were born ready. Find out at gocoastguard.com.
In what year did Alabama become the first state to make Christmas an official holiday? The answer is A, 1836. The radiology staff at the Kandahar Airfield Role 3 Hospital play a vital role in medical care in southern Afghanistan. This technology is extremely helpful in caring for those servicemen and women who have been severely wounded in action. Airman Jimmy Moreland brings us this story.
Here in the Kandahar Airfield Hospital, or Role 3, uniformed medical staff perform a variety of procedures, from routine checkups and immunizations to life-saving operations.
Don't breathe, don't move.
The radiology department is a big piece of that puzzle, composed of a handful of technicians and radiologists.
We take the images, we make sure the images are clear and they're close to perfect to be able to read, and the radiologist basically reads it and does the diagnosis of the pictures.
A job of a tech actually is one of the crucial things in the Department of Radiology, because my job is interpretation. Their job is to obtain all the images. That's all done by the techs, so they're another key player in this whole thing.
The technicians spend about a year learning their job, preparing them to use state-of-the-art imaging systems.
We're actually one of the most advanced imaging places in Afghanistan. We have plain films, we have ultrasound, we have CTs, we have MRI capabilities, and then on top of that we have interventional radiology capabilities, which is basically doing procedures using X-rays for guidance.
All of these tools are put to the test here in what is often the first line of critical care for those wounded in action.
We're actually seeing patients that are, we know that they're our fellow soldiers basically, or Navy or Air Force or whatever branch. And of course it gives you a sense of, you could feel that you're actually helping them on the process of saving their lives. So it's very fulfilling in a way.
Trauma-wise, this is about as real as it gets. And we are one of the busiest combat hospitals anywhere. That's another thing about this job that makes it stressful, but also makes it exciting and really makes you feel like you're making a difference and you're doing something important.
Even from behind the scenes, the influence of this department and these medical workers is felt throughout the hospital, and they have a hand in nearly every life saved here. Airman Jimmy Moreland, Kandahar Airfield, Afghanistan.
The Air Force Mortuary Affairs operations at Dover Air Force Base is largely staffed by airmen, but all services are represented within its walls. 2 Marines are stationed in Delaware to provide care, service, and support to families of fallen Marines, and Marine Staff Sergeant Caitlin Jones introduces us to one young Lance Corporal who takes care of his fellow Marines.
Putting together a Marine's dress uniform is something that takes time, dedication, and attention to detail. And for Lance Corporal Landon Beatty, it's something that he takes time to do for other Marines.
That's a big thing here is the uniforms, because I always promise families every time they come in here, your son or your daughter, they will look the best they've ever looked in their dress blues when they leave here.
Lance Corporal Beatty serves at the Air Force Mortuary Affairs Operations, or AFMAO, as the liaison for the Marine Corps, helping to take care of fallen Marines and their families at Dover Air Force Base. However, it wasn't something that he necessarily joined the Marines to do.
My job for the Marine Corps is I'm an AAV crewman. I'm an amphibious assault vehicle crewman, which pretty much, long story short, I drive the big tank. Got an email from my staff sergeant who sent me an email saying that there was a job opening here at the mortuary, and I thought it was a long shot. I really did. Just being a Lance Corporal, I just thought it was a long shot just to get the job.
But he did. And less than a year later, Lance Corporal Beatty has helped bring home dozens of fallen Marines and taking care of the families left behind.
But every single Marine who comes through here, they're dressed by me and my staff sergeant. because we make that our personal mission. Marines take care of Marines. We take care of our own, and we take care of our own family, because they're our family.
And the dedication shown to his job is something that is seen by everyone, including the families he takes care of.
Corporal Coffee. Corporal Coffee, I will never forget Corporal Coffee or his family. A month later, after I dealt with Corporal Coffee's family, I got a phone call from Mr. Coffee inviting me to his son's unit memorial service in California. One of the reasons why they flew me to California is because they told me I reminded them a lot of their son. So hearing that from a father of a fallen Marine is very hard, but it's also very honorable.
And as he prepares the uniform of another fallen Marine, just as he's done so many times before, Lance Corporal Beatty is focused and deliberate in his mission as a liaison.
We strive to be the best at anything. So being here at Doverport Mortuary representing the United States Marine Corps, I strive to be the best that I can be for the Corps, for the families that I serve here.
Air Force Staff Sergeant Caitlin Jones, Dover Air Force Base, Delaware.
DVIDS is a 24/7 operation that provides a timely, accurate, and reliable connection between the media and the military serving worldwide. Through a network of over 200 portable satellite transmitters around the globe and a distribution hub in Atlanta, Georgia, DVIDS gives you access to the front lines with live and archived broadcast video, still imagery, and print products. Visit our website at dvidshub.net and search through our enormous video and photo library. Register on our website to gain complete access to high-definition content, along with breaking news alerts and webcasts from top military officials. For questions or comments about In the Fight or DVIDS, you can email us at ondemand@dvidshub.net or follow us on Twitter and Facebook. As we close, we feature some of the best photos that DVIDS has to offer, as we listen to Eddie Horst's composition, Pangea. See you next time, In the Fight.